Is she to be buried in Christian burial when she willfully seeks her own salvation?
I'm telling you yes, so finish that grave right away. The coroner examined her case and says it should be a Christian burial.
But how, unless she drowned in self-defense?
That's what they're saying she did.
Sounds more like self-offense, if you ask me. What I'm saying is, if she knew she was drowning herself, then that's an act. An act has 3 sides to it: to do, to act, and to perform. Therefore, she must have known she was drowning herself.
No, listen here, gravedigger, sir.
Give me leave. Here lies the water. Good. Here stands the man. Good. If the man go to this water and drown himself, it is, will he, nil he goes. Mark you that. But if the water come to him and drown him, he drowns not himself. Argal, he that is not guilty of his own death shortens not his own life.
But is this law?
It sure is, the coroner's inquest law.
Do you want to know the truth? If this woman hadn't been rich, she wouldn't have been given a Christian burial.
Well, there, now you've said it. It's a pity that the rich have more freedom to hang or drown themselves than the rest of us Christians. Come on, shovel. The most ancient aristocrats in the world are gardeners, ditch diggers, and grave diggers. They keep up Adam's professions.
Was he an aristocrat with a coat of arms?
He was the first person who ever had arms.
He didn't have any?
What, aren't you a Christian? The Bible says Adam dug in the ground. How could he dig without arms? I'll ask you another question if you can't answer it.
Go ahead.
What do you call a person who builds stronger things than a stonesmason, a shipbuilder, or a carpenter does?
The one who builds the gallows to hang people on, since his structure outlives 1,000 inhabitants.
You're funny. The gallows do a good job, but how? It does a good job for those who do bad. Now it's wrong to say that the gallows are stronger than a church. Therefore, the gallows may do you some good. Come on, your turn.
Let's see. Who builds a stronger thing than a stone man, a shipbuilder, or a carpenter?
That's the question, so answer it.
Ah, I've got it.
Go ahead.
Damn, I forget.
Don't beat your brains out over it. You can't make a slow donkey run by beating it. The next time someone asks you this riddle, say a gravedigger. The houses he makes last till Judgment Day. Now go and get me some booze. In my youth I loved, and I thought it was very sweet to set the date for my duty. I thought it was not right.
Doesn't this guy realize what he's doing? He's singing while digging a grave.
He's gotten so used to graves that they don't bother him anymore.
But old age has sneaked up on me and grabbed me in his claws and has shipped me into the ground as if I've never been like that.
That skull had a tongue in it once and could sing. That jackass is throwing it around as if it belonged to Cain. Who did the first murder? It might be the skull of a politician once, capable of talking his way around God, right? And now this idiot is pulling rank on him?
Indeed, my lord.
Or a courtier who could say things like, "Good night, my sweet lord. How are you doing, good lord?" This might be the skull of a lord so and so, who praised Lord such and such. Horse when we wanted to bore it, right?
Yes, my lord.
Exactly, and now it's the property of Lady Worm, its lower jaw knocked off and thwacked on the noggin with a shovel. That's quite a reversal fortune, isn't it? If we could only see it. Are those bones worth nothing more than a bowling pins now? It makes my bones ache to think about it.
A pickaxe and a shovel and a sheet for a funeral shroud. Oh, a pit of dirt is what we need for a guest like this one here.
There's another. Why may not that be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddities now, his qualities, his cases, his tenures, and his tricks? Why does he suffer this rude knave how to knock him about the scene with a dirty shovel, and will not tell him of his action of battery? This fellow might be in time a great buyer of land, with his statues, his recognizances, his fines, his double vouchers, his recovers. Is this the fine of his fines, and the recover of his recoveries, to have his fine pate full of fine dirt? Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures? The very conveyances of his lands will hardly lie in this box, and must then inherit himself no more.
No more than that, my lord.
Isn't the parchment of a legal document made of sheepskin?
Yes, my lord, and calfskin too.
Anyone who pearls his trust in such documents in a sheep or a calf, I'll talk to this guy. Excuse me, sir. Whose grave is this?
It's mine, sir. Oh, a pit of dirt is what we need for a guest like this one here.
I think it really must be yours since you're lying in it.
And you're lying outside of it, so it's not yours. As for me, I'm not lying to you in it. It's really mine.
But you were lying in it, being in it, and saying it's yours. It's for the dead, not the living, so you're lying.
That's a lively lie, sir. It jumps so fast from me to you.
What man are you digging for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For no woman either.
Who's to be buried in it, then?
One who used to be a woman, but, bless her soul, is dead now.
How literal this guy is. We have to speak Priestley, for he'll get the better of us with his wordplay. Lord Horatio, I've been noticing this for years now. The peasants have become so clever and witty that they're just nipping at our heels of noblemen. How long have you been a gravedigger?
Of all the days in the year, I started the day that the late King Hamlet defeated Fortinbras.
How long ago was that?
You don't know that? Any fool could tell you it was the day that young Hamlet was born, the one who went crazy and got sent off to England.
Well, why was he sent to England?
Because he was crazy. He'll recover his sanity there, or if he doesn't, it won't matter in England.
Why not?
Because nobody will notice he's crazy. Everyone there is as crazy as he is.
How did he go crazy?
In a strange way, they say.
What do you mean, in a strange way?
By losing his mind.
On what grounds?
Right here in Denmark, I've been the church warden here for 30 years, since childhood.
How long will a man lie in his grave before he starts to rot?
Well, if he's not rotten before he dies, he'll last 8 or 9 years. A leather maker will last 9 years.
Why does he last longer?
Because his hide is so leathery from his trade that he keeps the water off him a long time, and water is what makes your body rot more than anything. Here's a skull that's been here at 23 years.
Whose was it?
A crazy bastard. Who do you think?
I really don't know.
Damn the crazy madman. He poured a pitcher of white wine on my head once. This is the skull of York, the king's jester.
This one?
Yes, that one.
Alas, poor York. I knew him. Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now he abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at. Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how often. Where your gibes now, your gambols, your song, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning, quite chapfallen. Now get your to me lady's chamber, and tell her, let her paint on inch think, to let this favour. She must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Do you think Alexander the Great looked like this when he was buried?
Exactly like that.
And smelled like that too?
Just as bad, my lord.
How long we can fall, Horatio? Isn't it possible to imagine that the noble ashes of Alexander the Great could end up plugging a hole in a barrel?
If you thought that, you'd be thinking too much.
No, not at all. Just follow the logic. Alexander died. Alexander was buried. Alexander returned to dust. The dust is dirt, and dirt makes mud we use to stop up holes. So why can't something plug a beer barrel with the dirt that used to be Alexander? The great Emperor Caesar died and turned to clay. Might plug up a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, to think that the same body that once ruled the world could now patch up a wall. But quiet, be quiet a minute. Here comes the king, the queen, and the whole noble court. Who are they following? And with such a plain and scrawny ceremony, it means the corpse they're following took its own life. Must have been from a wealthy family. Let's stay and watch a while.
What other rights are you going to give her?
That's Laertes, a very noble young man. Listen.
What other rights are you going to give her?
Her obsequies have been far enlarged, as we have warrantly. Her death was doubtful, and but that great command o'ersways the order. She should in ground unsanctified have lodged till the last trumpet. For cordial prayers, shards, flints, and pebbles should be thrown on her. Yet here she is allowed her virgin krantz, her maiden stumens, and the bringing home of bell and burial.
Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We should profane the service of the dead to sing a requiem and such rest to her as to peace, parted souls.
Lay her in the ground and let violets bloom from her lovely and pure flesh. I'm telling you, you jerk priest, my sister will be an angel in heaven while you're howling in hell.
What? The beautiful Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet, farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have been decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Damn 3 times, damn 10 times, the evil man whose wicked deed deprives you of your ingenious mind. Hold off burying her until I've caught her in my arms once more. Now pile the dirt onto the living and the dead alike, till you've made a mountain higher than Mount Pelion or Mount Olympus.
Who is the one whose grief is so loud and clean, whose words of sadness make the planets stand still in the heavens as if they've been hurt by what they've heard? It's me, Hamlet, the Dane.
Will take thy soul.
Thou prayest not well. I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat, for thou I am not splendid and rash, yet I have something in me dangerous. Hold out thy hand.
Pluck thy asunder.
Hamlet, Hamlet.
Gentlemen,
Good my lord, be quiet.
I'll fight him over this issue till I don't have the strength to blink.
Oh, my son, what issue is that?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not with all their quantity of love make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad. Laertes?
For love of God, bear him.
Swoon, swoon, show me what thou do. Wouldn't you weep? Wouldn't you fight? Wouldn't you go fast? Wouldn't tear myself? Wouldn't drink, easel, eat a crocodile? I'll do it. Dost thou come here to wire to all face with me, leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so I will. And if thou prate of mountains, let them throw millions of acres on us, till our ground, singing his plate against the burning zone, make Ossa like a wart. Nay, art thou a mouth, I'll rant as well as thou.
This is pure insanity. He'll be like this for a little while. Then he'll be as calm and quiet as a dove waiting for her eggs to hatch.
Listen, sir, why do you treat me like this? I always loved you, but it doesn't matter. Even a hero like Hercules can. Bats from acting like a cats and dogs like dogs.
I pray thee, wait upon him, strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present posh. Good Gertrude, get some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see. Till then, in patience, our proceeding be.